Hi, detectives. So, I have a few questions for you. Are you ready? Have you ever watched a movie where you missed the beginning of it? Connection sign if you have. I have. And it's so confusing. You don't know who the characters are or what's happening. Or have you ever missed the first part of an important event? Like maybe the first day of school or the first soccer practice? And it's so confusing as well. You don't know where to go or where your belongings go or how the schedule runs. So, friends, if that's happened to you, you know how it makes you feel. Just like those different circumstances, sometimes that can happen with reading when we are reading tricky words. If you don't get all of the beginning sounds, it could make it pretty confusing. Paying attention to the beginnings of things makes life so much easier, whether it's a movie, an important event, or a tricky word. If you get to the start of a word and you get to it and you spell it correctly, figuring out the rest of the word is not so hard. So, we have a new mission. Are you ready? It's top secret. I should probably lower my voice. Mission number 12. Readers, pay close attention to the beginning of the word. They especially look closely to see if there are any letters that go together. So, you're official word detectives. Make sure you're wearing that badge. Today, we're going on the mission to pay attention to the beginning of the word. I want us to look at this blends and digraphs chart. If you have not seen this before, you will notice I will post it next to this video. I want you to be practicing some of these sounds. These are some sounds that you will see in the beginning of some words. Let's go ahead and do some together. Let's start with some blends. I'll say it once, and I want you to repeat after me. S-C, scarf. S-K, skateboard. S-M, smile. I hope you're repeating after me. You're doing a great job. S-N, snowman. Let's skip over to some R blends. Are you ready? B-R, burr, broom. C-R, cur, crayon. How about D-R? D-R, der, drum. Now let's go to some L blends. B-L, bull, block. Your turn. C-L, coal, clock. Let's do one more L blend. F-L, full, flower. Your turn. All right, and last but not least are our digraphs. We know digraphs are two letters. They come together and they make just one sound. So, do a few of these with me. C, H, ch, chair. Next up, P, H, phone. Your brains are on fire. Here we go. S, H, ship. T, H, thumb. That's a silly one. You get to stick your tongue out. Thumb. All right, last one. W, H, whale. Whale. Nice job, boys and girls. You are on a roll. So, the reason we just did that is because our mission today as we're reading is to make sure we really pay attention to the beginning of words, to some letters that are together, just like on this chart. Are you ready? Let's get out our magnifying glasses. Here's mine. And let's look closely at the beginning of sounds to solve these tricky word mysteries. Are you ready to do it together? We're going to read a little bit of a new story. It's called Frog and Toad. Here's Frog and Toad over here in the picture. When we get to a word that we're stumped on, we're going to really pay close attention to the beginning sounds and then stretch all the way across. Here we go. One day in summer, Frog was not feeling well. Toad said, "Frog, you are looking quite..." I'm stumped, boys and girls. Green. GR. Well, I'm going to cover that over here. GR. That's a blend. GR. Grr. And then I see a vowel team. Een. Green. Wow. Word detectives. We did it. Let's go back and see if that word makes sense. One day in summer, Frog was not feeling well. Toad said, "Frog, you are looking quite green." Does that make sense? When I look at the picture and he's a frog, I would agree. But I always look green. Friends, did I have to stretch out that word again? No. As word detectives, we know once we solve a word, we try to make it into a snap word. So I already solved green. Now I read it in a snap. Said Frog, "I am a frog. Today, you look very green, even for a frog," said Toad. "Get into my bed and rest." Toad made a frog a cup of hot tea. Frog, am I going to give up? I'm stuck on the word. What should I do, word detectives? Use my new mission from today. Oh, I'm going to drag this over again. I see DR. See, that didn't drag. I see DR. DR, dur. Durang, durank. Frog dank? That doesn't sound right. Ank. Frog drink. Let's pull that back. That looks right. It makes sense. Frog drank the tea. And then he said, "Tell me a story while I am resting." Wow. Boys and girls, thanks for all of your help. You are true word detectives. And you're also becoming word collectors. So, your job for today is, of course, to read on Raz-Kids for at least 15 minutes. Boys and girls, as you're reading, make sure that you pay attention to the beginning of the word. Don't let it stump you. Look at the beginning and then follow all the way through. If you get to a word that has one of our blends or digraphs, you get to collect it in your super secret detective notebook. Notice, I did it up here. We saw the word frog and green when we were reading together. So I would write those two words in my notebook. Your job is to do the same today. All right, you are off. You are amazing. I want you to also practice your sounds. I will post that as well. Happy reading, detectives!